everyone, welcome to AmalaMovement. I'm Charlotte. This is our final practice in our 12-month yoga journey together. Today we will give ourselves an opportunity to notice how we have evolved over the past 12 months and to resolve or to let go of anything we wish to before the year draws to a close. Let's get started. So this practice is going to begin with a flow that will build a gentle, creative energy in the body before coming to a guided meditation that will conclude our 12-month yoga journey together. So with that in mind, have a couple of props to hand, props that you know you will enjoy in a meditation. So whether that's a blanket or a pillow or a cushion or a big woolly jumper or some socks, anything like that, just so when it comes to it, we don't have to leave our mat to get what we would like. So pause the video, grab everything that you could possibly imagine you may want now. And when you're ready to join me, lying on the floor, on our backs with our feet standing and our knees up towards the sky. Coming to rest your hands on your belly and taking a few lovely moments to arrive on your mat, to arrive into your practice. Cherishing this moment as a conclusion and all that that may mean for our 12-month yoga journey. Starting to deepen your breath. Let the belly feel soft. Soften the chest and the rib cage. Soften the back of the neck. Soften the back of the head and its contact with the earth behind you. And taking one more big and beautiful cycle of breath in through the nose. And a gentle sigh and exhale out through the mouth. If the eyes have been closed, slowly starting to blink them open, coming back to the space you're in. We're going to begin our movement today with some rolling up through the spine. So working on articulating each individual vertebrae in the spine, keeping your shoulders on the floor, drawing your belly in, pressing through the feet, tucking the pelvis, and rolling all the way up. You can bring the hands down to the earth, press up, take an inhale, and exhale again, reversing that sequence. So rolling down, the tailbone is the last thing to unravel. Let's go 2 more times. Inhale, tuck the pelvis. Roll yourself all the way up through the spine. Check the knees are tracking over the pinky toes. Exhale, nice and slowly. Roll it all the way down. Feel your tailbone unrolling as well. Let's go 1 more time. Inhale, tuck the pelvis. Roll yourself all the way up. And exhale with control. Each vertebrae having its time to shine. Lovely. This time, similar thing, we're going to inhale, roll ourselves all the way up, pressing your hands into the earth, into your mat for stability. We're looking to keep our pelvis still, not letting it tilt to one side. Can you float your right leg all the way up towards the sky? Flexing the right toes. Inhale here. Exhale, roll down through the spine. Keep the right leg lifted. And then bring the right ankle onto the left knee. Thread the needle. Bring your fingertips to the inside of your left thigh. And having a little rock. Having a sway from side to side. Do what you need to do here. opening out the right glute, the right hip, massaging the lower back into the earth. And then slowly bringing your left foot to the mat, unraveling your right foot. And we'll take that little movement again. So tucking the pelvis, rolling yourself all the way up. Take an inhale here. Try and keep your hips nice and still. As you float your left leg up towards the sky, notice if you've dipped in your left hip. Press it up. For 3, 2, 1, and slowly keep your left leg up, but roll down through the spine. Bring your left foot to your right knee, actively pressing that left knee away from you as you thread your fingers through the gap and taking what you need. Trusting your intuition here, learning to trust yourself, finding stillness or movement. And on an exhale, bringing both feet back down towards the earth, rolling over onto your left side. Having a moment, you can straighten the left arm away from you. Let your belly be soft and heavy. Relax your knees and your ankles. And then use your right hand to help you press yourself up all the way to seated. Cross your calves, rock over your knees and come onto all fours. So from here, bring your knees nice and wide so they're mat distance apart, your toes together, and come onto your fingertips. So we're in a variation of our tabletop position. Strong through the fingers. On an inhale, drop the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift up through the chest. Feel that space, that extra space you gain from being on the fingertips. And exhale, round through the spine, look in between the legs. Inhale, drop the belly, lifting the chest. Enjoy this extra space today. And exhale, round through the spine. Find a tabletop position, length in the back. Send your hips down towards your heels. Walk your fingertips further forwards. And drop your forehead down towards your mat. Take an inhale through the nose. And an exhale out through the mouth. Press the tops of your feet into the earth. Round the spine. Come back into our cat position. Fingertips actively press down. Exhale, drop the belly, lift the hips. Send yourself back to child's pose, forehead down. Press through the tops of the feet. Inhale, find your cat position. Exhale, drop the belly, lift the hips. Come back to child's pose. And we're going to take this movement as many times as feels good and finding a flow, a rhythm of flow that really nourishes you today. Move as slowly as you like. Take as many breaths as you need to in each movement, in each sequence and each cycle of movement. And next time you press yourself up onto all fours, lower the hands so the palms find the mat. Index finger points forwards. Keep your big toes together. Tuck your toes. This is a very exciting variation of downward facing dog. So big toes together, lifting your hips slowly up and back. Make sure your knees are pointing forwards towards the top edge of your mat. Big toes together, working towards gluing the ankles together, zipping up through your knees and your inside thighs. Inhale, lift both your heels. Ripple forwards through to a plank position with your toes still together. Inhale. And exhale, bend your knees. Lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels, ripple through to a plank position, big toes still together. Exhale, bend the knees, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 more. Inhale, ripple through to plank. Exhale, bend the knees, hips up and back. Inhale through to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. And this time, opening your feet to your normal width of downward facing dog. Feel free to bend the knees. And slowly lowering your knees down, finding a tabletop position, sitting back onto your heels, lifting up through the chest, palms up towards the sky. Take a moment just to notice, take a moment to feel. Magic. And then slowly shifting yourself around so that you can extend your legs, your toes out in front of you. If you happen to have a pillow or a blanket to hand, you can pop that underneath the knees because that just feels really good. Flexing the feet, so sending the toes up towards the sky. And as always, I really encourage you to bend the knees here. This is where a pillow or blanket comes in handy. It gives you that support. Inhale, find length. Stretch your fingers, open up through the chest. Exhale, find a long spine. Carve a line with your nose. Reach forward through the fingertips. One more breath here. And exhale, let it go. Find a fold. So really, can we drop the ego thing, dropping this need of touching your toes or bringing your nose to your knee. I would really encourage you to find length in the spine, bend your knees, even if you're resting further away from the legs. If you're breathing, this is the best thing. Find that space that you can breathe. Unclench your jaw, soften through your neck. And wherever you are, drop your chin towards your chest. Let your spine round so that you can unravel and find length. Come all the way back up to vertical. Move your underneath support out the way and come to a cross-legged position with your right leg in front. So we're working towards finding a glute stretch, a hip opening that really nourishes us today. So this might be a seated cross-legged position or an easy fold. Or we can work towards guiding our left knee closer towards the center line and bring your right foot over the top of the leg. Or our cow face legs, which would be both knees in the center line stacked on top of each other, legs out towards the side. And it's really important to flex the feet here to engage the muscles of the legs. So whatever variation you're working with today, be there, move as you are. Roll your shoulders in towards the back. Create space in the chest. Bring your fingertips to the earth. Sit tall. You can close the eyes if this feels nice for you. Send your breath down into your lower belly, down into your hips. Feel this empowerment this strength of sitting with an open chest. Magical stuff happens when our heart is open, when we've got this space for this movement, for these shifts, for these changes in the body, on and off our mat. Keeping the legs as they are. Inhale to bring your arms out towards the side, fingertips really wide. Exhale, bring your right elbow on top of your left. Find the bind, or working towards find the bind of our eagle arms. Inhale, send your elbows up towards the sky, lift up through the chest. Exhale, drop your chin round the spine, take a forward fold. One more breath. On an exhale, soften, 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 soften. Inhale to lift the elbows, open your arms back out wide. Space, and exhale, drop your fingertips to the earth. Use your hands to help you bring your feet back round. Have a little shake and a wiggle. We were there for a while. I'm just going to pass through Baddha Konasana, passing through butterfly pose. So we won't be here for long. Just use this as an opportunity to wake up the feet again if they've been still for a while, giving yourself a little massage because that always feels nice. Magic. And let's take the other side. So build up slowly. Don't go in with expectations of what you should be able to do on both sides of the body, because both sides of the body are very different. So we start with our left leg in front in this cross-legged position. So this might be where we are on this side. Or we work towards bringing our right knee into the midline, into the center line. And our left leg can cross over the right knee. And then we sit up tall. Or our cow face legs. So that would be stacking or working towards stacking both knees on top of each other with your feet flexed. This is, for me, a lot trickier on this side of the body. So it's okay if there's space between the legs. You can also use support of the props you have around you. Lovely, wherever you are, settle into your shape. Roll the shoulders in towards the back, fingertips press down into the earth, pausing here for a few moments. Give yourself this time to feel. Just make sure you're flexing through the toes. On an inhale, bring your arms out wide, stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, cross your left elbow on top of your right and working towards finding our eagle arms. Inhale, lift both elbows up towards the sky. Find a gentle arch of the spine. And exhale, round forwards. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Allow your head to feel heavy. Knowing that your thoughts are welcome, but just letting them pass by like clouds. On an inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the elbows, and exhale, releasing everything. Feel that space flying into the body. Lower the fingertips down towards the earth. And then you can use your hands to help your knees up. So we're going to finish our movement section of this practice with a variation on boat pose or Navasana. So bring your feet together, squeeze your knees together and interlace your fingers, drop your hands onto your shins. Roll your shoulders into the back, sit up tall, lift your heels away from the floor, and if you can, explore, have a play. Can you lift your toes away from the mat as well? So at the moment, we've still got a long spine. We're lifting up through the chest. We've got space between our chin and our collarbones. And this is a very pivotal point. It's quite hard really to find that perfect balance point where you don't rock too far back, that your spine rounds, and you don't sit up too tall so that you fall forward. So have a play. And once we've potentially found that space where our spine can be long, now we're going to round our spine. So you can bring your hands closer towards your ankles. Can you drop your chin towards your chest? Let yourself get nice and small. Keep your toes away from the floor if you can, but also know that the floor is there to catch you if you need it. Squeezing your knees up towards your nose for 3, 2, 1. Slowly planting your feet back down to the earth, staying round. Sitting up tall, and then releasing the legs. Great. So let's gently begin to transition into a guided meditation to finish. And I really encourage you to stick with me through this. There's so much magic that is really held and found in moments of stillness. So you can choose to lie down if that's what you prefer. Use your blanket, wrap up warm, have a pillow for your head. Or you can join me in seated. So take your time to get comfortable, well and truly comfortable. And wherever you are, wherever you're finding yourself, just allow your eyes to close. Let your hands rest wherever's comfortable, whether that's on the floor, on your belly, or in your lap. And I'd like to guide us through a meditation that will conclude our 12-month yoga journey together. So for me, this feels a really special opportunity to reflect on our journey, to reflect how far we've come, and also to reflect on our year as a whole, the past 12 months. So you can just allow the sound of my voice to guide you. You can close your eyes. You can let yourself drift into this place of quiet and calm. So let's begin by just noticing our breath. Noticing the ease of the breath as it travels in through the nose and down, deep into the belly. Notice the body as it rises and falls with each and every inhale and exhale. Noticing the shoulders soften and melt away from the ears as they slide down into the back. Noticing the support that you have from underneath you, physically from the mats, from the ground, from the earth. And whether you're sitting, you can feel that support underneath your pelvis and underneath your legs. And if you've chosen to lie down, then you've got that support under the whole of the body. And as you lie here, in this place of calm and place of support, I invite you to cast your mind back to January. So that's almost a year ago now. And you may recall that our first practice together was around intention setting. And in that practice, I invited you to set an intention. So this may have been for your yoga practice, or this may have been off of your mat. So an intention for your year. And it's okay if you don't remember, it was a long time ago. But can you remember what your intention was for the year? And let's spend a moment just noticing and reflecting how that intention has manifested itself on and off of your mats over the past 12 months. And this manifestation might be really obvious. You might, of course, notice a huge way in that your intention has found itself in your life. Or you might have to dig a little bit deeper, but it will be there. And as we moved through this journey together, we explored practices around self-love and self-care. And in spring, we blossomed into our practice. We cultivated this energy. In the summer months, we found joy and celebrated gratitude with a light and energizing and warming practice. In autumn, in October, we dropped into a restorative practice to love and to let go. And just start to notice if anything starts to come up for you around that letting go, around letting things be. And then last month, our November practice, we moved through kindness and spoke about how kindness can be found in our practice, but also off of our mats, in the real everyday life. And then suddenly it seems we find ourselves in December for the 12th and final month of our journey. So, of course, inevitably a lot happens in a year. We go through a lot of stuff. Some stuff is amazing. Some stuff feels really good in your body. Some stuff feels really good in your mind. There are many, many moments of happiness and gratitude and joy and celebration. Cherish those moments. And inevitably, there are moments that feel harder, that don't feel as good, that feel sad or lonely or hard. But the lesson from this is that we learn through those moments. They guide us to where we are now. They guide us to the person we are now and to this practice, to this very present moment. So I invite you just to ask yourself, what, if anything, have you learned the past year? And take this as you will. So this might mean, very practically, what have you learned in your yoga practice? Maybe you've learned to do a downward facing dog, or you've learned to breathe in a certain way, or you've learned to find your breath in a certain shape, like a twist, for example. You might have learned to deepen your practice physically by building strength or flexibility, or you might have learned to deepen your practice mindfully. Maybe your practice feels kinder than it did a year ago. But here also lies an opportunity to ask yourself what you've learned as an individual and how your practice has taught you new things or different things off of your mat. And again, it's okay if these things feel really obvious, and it's also okay if these things aren't obvious, if they're embedded on a deeper layer. But just trust that these things are there. These things take time, but they are there. And we'll finish this guided meditation by asking yourself, how do you want to continue to evolve? How would you like to evolve into the next year? What lessons or what learning do you want to carry through into the new year? What things, if anything, would you like to leave behind? And you can stay exactly as you are. Your eyes can stay closed, your body can stay still. But can you just gently and quietly start to deepen your breath? Bring your awareness back into your body, back into your breath. Keep your eyes closed, but start to wake up the fingers and the toes with some gentle wriggles, some gentle movements of the ankles and the wrists. And wherever you are, let's bring the palms of the hands gently together and lifting your thumb up to your third eye. Thank you so much for sharing the past 12 months with me. It's been a journey. It's been a magical, magical journey, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a gorgeous rest of your day, a gorgeous rest of your year. And I look forward to sharing practices with you again in the future. Namaste.